Hey everyone, welcome back. So it's been one hell of a week this week for Bitcoin miners, the markets, everything. We're going to look into all that, see how they did. Bitcoin was up 5% today. It's up another 5% in the new day. We'll look at all of that. We'll also take a look at the Bitcoin miners. They were up again pretty nicely today. Some weren't up as much as others. Some were down actually. We'll look at all that. And then we got to talk about Bitcoin obviously being at 21,000. Holy, exclamation point. This, I think, is unsustainable, and we'll get into reasons why I think it is unsustainable. And we'll look at some of the history that has happened before where Bitcoin has gone up parabolic. But we'll look into that. And we'll also take a look at some news for the miners. Bitfarms Hive provided a news release today. We'll take a look at it. I think it's all pretty good. So we'll take a look at it. And then we'll also take a look at how this increase in price in Bitcoin affects the miners as far as their profitability is concerned currently. We'll look into that towards the end here, and we'll call it a day. Okay, so as always, you guys know the drill. Invest in following coins and companies. This is not financial advice for entertainment only. Do your own research. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out. All right, let's get into the markets here really quick. So the S&P was up today 0.4% to 3,999. Dow Jones was up 0.33 to 34,302. NASDAQ was up 0.71% to 11,541. And then Bitcoin, it looks like it's almost like decoupling from the NASDAQ. I mean, it was up today 5% on the day, finished out the day at 5.77% up. It closed at 19,934. We hit a high of 20,000. And then after that, into the new hours, which we're trading now for about 3 hours or so, it has gone up another 5.19%, even went up even higher than that. It hit a high of 21,321. So as you can see here, we were just going parabolic on Bitcoin right now. That is concerning to me. Our potential, this used to be our kind of support range here at 19,500. We'll see if we can stay above this. If we do, that's going to be a great sign. If we fall below this, which I think we may have a pullback coming, and I'll show you guys why I think that's the case. If you look at the RSI right now, we are way overbought right now at 88. Last time we were this high was back in January of 2021. So if we scroll all the way back here, let's see here, where was it? It was back, keep going, right around here. You can see that the RSI back then was about 88, 89 as well. And this was also right around the same time frame as we are currently in. It was in January of 2021. If we look at the increase that we had just from the beginning of the month, when we switch over to the new year, let's take a quick measurement of it. So it was 31st, 30th, there we go. From the 1st to the peak, we went up approximately 46% on it. After that, you can see here that we went up, and then we had to come back down. We had to kind of relieve the pressure, I think, a little bit in the RSI. And it came down. Let's take a look how far it came down from the top. From the top, it went down to about 30%. You could say 30, between 27 and 30%. It went down in price. In the next, what is that? How many trading days is that? In the next 14 bars, so that's almost, 3 weeks in trade. Well, for Bitcoin, that would have been only 2 weeks, 14 days in trading on it. So I think we are going to have a little bit of a pullback. I hope it's not going to be that drastic of 30%. But we may see that. If that does happen, then we do have a little bit of pullback. If we're at 21,000 right now, we're going to be coming back down potentially to, let's take a look at it, see where we might end up at. If we just do a 30% drop from the top, let's see here, from the top here. If we go 14 days out, 14 days out, and a 30% drop, well, a 30% drop would pretty much get us back down to 27% drop would get us back down to 15,500. So that would not be good if we go back down that far low. I'm hoping that we can stay above this 19,500 if possible as our support line potentially, but we'll see. If not, we might be coming down here. Looks like we had pretty good support around 16,500. But we do need a little bit of a pullback, I think. We're just going up too fast, too high, and too short of a period of time on it. Let me know what you guys think, if you guys disagree or agree. I think what we're seeing right now is a little bit of FOMO. People are FOMOing in to Bitcoin. They're seeing it rise and rise, and people are going to get into it when it does that. So I would be more than happy to be wrong on this, and it continues going up higher. But I think based on what we've seen here, what we've seen in the past, that we are due for a little bit of a pullback. Okay. Now, when we look at the 4-hour chart, we can see here that it's gone parabolic as well here. The RSI is at 92. We need to relieve some of that pressure in here. We're way overbought right now. And then if we look at the 1 hour chart as well, we are really high up here. The good thing is that we are higher in price, while the RSI from last point was lower, approximately almost, what is that, 2,000, 3,000 less almost? Yeah, about 2,000 less from where we are now. So I think we are going to have a little bit of a pullback, but if I'm wrong, I'll be happy to be wrong about this one. Okay, let me know what you guys think. Ethereum, same thing on Ethereum. We're seeing that RSI is way up at 85, way overbought right now. It's having right now, it's up 7.28% on the new day. It finished out the day. Today it was up 2.52% to a close of 1,451. Hit a high of 1,466, and right now we hit a high of 1,597, and we're at 1,558 right now. Okay, so like I said, I think this is unsustainable long term. We need a pullback, and we'll see if that happens. And hopefully we don't go down too far, but we'll see. Okay, now as far as the miners are concerned, ANY was basically flat on the day today at 42 cents. Argo was up. Well, what did I want to show you guys here? Oh, I remember now. I wanted to take a look at the 12-month chart on here on these guys as well, and kind of show you guys where we are now on it. Let me see if I can maybe do this logarithmic. There we go. Okay, so this is on the year chart, right? Yep, on the 12 months. So you can see here that ANY was, well, so far this year it is up, or this month it is up about 54%. We were down 91% in the last year, but the prior 2 years we were up 83% and 118%. Okay, that's kind of what I wanted to point out to you guys, that we might be due for another little rally here this year, next year, especially as we get closer to the halving event. And I'll show you guys this for all the miners here. Some of them have the data, some of them don't. So we can see that Argo was up today 3.52% to $1.47. It is now up this year, or this month so far, 36%. Last year was down 91%. Bit Digital was up today 8.26% to $1.18. This year it's up 96% already. So, and then last year was down 90%. The year prior to that, it was also down 72%. But the year before that, it was up 5,382%. So huge swings there. Bitfarms, it was up today 5.94% to $1.07. This year it is up already 143%. Last year was down 91%, but the years prior was up 165% in 2021. And in 20, it was up 397%. So huge gains there as well. CleanSpark was down today 3.37% to $2.58. It was up this year 26% up. Last year was down 78%. And the year prior was down 67%, but they didn't start mining until, when did they start mining? I think it was back in 21, in January, when they started mining. So they've had 2 years of down, but they've grown tremendously here. The year prior to that, they were up 442%, but at that time they were not mining Bitcoin at that period. Cores was a SPAC merger this year, I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, but they are down 14% today to 8 cents. They are up so far this year 14.5%, and last year they were down 99% from where they started. Don't have enough data on them. DigiHost was up 10.41% to 79 cents. This year it is up 119%. Last year was down 92%. The year prior was up 98%. And prior to that, it was up 128% when it closed, but it was obviously higher here on the candle wick that you can see. DMG is up 19.15% to 23 cents. This year it is up 132%. Last year was down 84%. The year prior was up 30%, but it did peak up way higher. So I think the percentage is going to be more than that. And then the year prior was up 626%. Greenidge was flat today at $1.06. This year it is up already 266%. Last year it was down 98%. The year prior was also down as well. Not sure when they started mining. And then we got Hive. I know Hive has been mining for quite a while. They were down today 1.57% to $3.13. This year they are up already 117%. Last year they were down 89%. And the year prior, they were up 39, but you got this nice candle wick up here that was much higher in price, which that would lead me to believe they were up at least 100, 250, maybe 200% on that. The year prior, they were up 2,488. This was in 2020. Hut 8, it was up 10.49% to $1.58 today. This year, they are so far up 85%. 89% they were down last year. The year prior, they were up 185. Same thing with them. Nice big wick here. If we calculated that, I'm guessing it's going to be close to 300% up. And then the year prior was also 250, potentially even a little bit higher as well. Iris Energy was up 9.58% to $1.83. Don't have much data on them, but they're up so far this year 46%. Last year, they were down 92, and the year prior, they were down as well. Marathon has been mining for quite a while here, so they were up today 9.25% to $7.68. This year, they are up 124% already. Last year, they were down 89%. The year prior, they were up 214, but we could probably say that they were up maybe 400%, double that. And the year prior to that, they were up 1,000%. So this is when we get into that bull run. We're seeing huge gains on the miners. And then when we have bear market, we go down pretty hard as well. Mawson was up today 1.57% to 40 cents. They are up so far 73% this year. They were down 96% last year. The year prior, they were up 215, maybe closer to 400% at the top. And the year prior to that, they were up only 16% on that one. Riot was down 2.1% to $6.02. They are up 77% so far this year. Last year, they were down 84%, similar to CleanSpark a little bit. The way that these two guys are acting is kind of strange. The year prior to that, they were up 31%, but probably even higher than that. If we calculated, probably close to 200%, I'm guessing, by the candle wick. And then they were up the year prior 1,416%. So huge gains into the bull run. And I think we're going to see the same thing happen this time around again with the miners. So Luna, I'm not sure when they started mining. I think they started, I don't know about them when they started mining. But this year they're up 76%. Last year they were down 97%. The year prior they were up 128%, maybe closer to 300 at the top there. And then prior to that they were up 602%. So you're seeing that kind of pattern where in a bull run, the miners do really, really well. And then Wolf is a new one here. I think this one was also a SPAC. They came on the market this year, so they're only up 32% so far this year. And then last year they were down 95%. So just kind of wanted to show you guys how this all acts as far as when it comes to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is only up, excuse me. Let's see how much Bitcoin is up on the year here. It is up so far 26%, and you're seeing a lot of the miners being up over 100%, 80%. They always do like a multiple better than Bitcoin in a bull run. And the year prior, it was down 64%, and then we're seeing 59% and maybe a little bit higher, maybe closer to 80, 90% in 2021. 2020 was a good year as well. We were in the green, 304% on that one. And then you saw the miners being up over 1,000, somewhere even closer to 2,000% up. So the miners are a great kind of proxy as far as hedging is concerned, I think, when it comes to Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up 10%. These guys go up 30, 40%. And that's a great way to potentially have some real potential gains on them. But the bad news is when they go down hard. Okay. All right. So there's that. Let's take a look at the network hash rate. Network hash rate right now is, let's see, where's it at? Updating it. And why is it taking so long to update? Not sure why that is. Come on. There we go. Okay, so the network hash rate right now on the 7-day average is at 267, so that's actually pretty good. And then let's look at the 1 day. 1 day has come up a little bit to 269. We haven't reached the 200 or 305 million yet, but I think with Bitcoin price being where it's at, I think miners are going to be turning on, and this is a little bit delayed. This is, from the 12th, we are already in the, what are we at? On the 13th, so it's a day behind on the data here. Okay. All right, so let's get into our stories here really quick. We got two stories, Bitfarms and Hive. So Bitfarms is seeking modification of equipment loan facility to align with market conditions. And we'll just get into this really quick here. So Jeff Lucas, Chief Financial Officer of Bitfarms, stated during 2022, Bitfarms began taking proactive actions to increase financial flexibility and to reduce indebtedness and capital expenditure obligations. Considering today's challenging market conditions, we are seeking to modify our Washington State debt facility to achieve terms that are better aligned with the market outlook and our business strategy. So that's good. So on February 18th, 2022, this was last year, Bitfarms Backbone Mining Solutions entered into a $32 million equipment financing facility with BlockFi Lending. BlockFi, I think, is right now going through bankruptcy. BMS owns and operates the assets of Bitfarms' 20 megawatt active crypto mining facility in the state of Washington. The loan is secured by certain assets of BMS, including its miners and certain Bitcoin produced by those miners, and is recourse only against BMS. So they're secured by some of the assets of BMS, including its miners, so the ASIC miners. And then I guess they're getting along with some Bitcoins for it as well. Okay, so the current market value of those assets securing the loan is estimated by BMS to be approximately $5 million, while the outstanding principal and interest is approximately $20 million. So big difference there. As a result, the company determined that it would be advisable to seek more favorable terms from BlockFi and potentially take other steps to reduce the BMS obligation. If they can work something out, I think it's going to be great. I'm not sure how eager BlockFi is right now going to be to work out better terms for BMS, but we'll see. I think they're a little cash strapped as well. We'll see if they can even get out of the bankruptcy. So the company has taken certain actions and may in the future take other actions, including not making installment payments. That constitutes default under the loan agreement and entitle BlockFi to exercise various rights and remedies against BMS and in respect of all the collateral. So hopefully they can work something out. This isn't great news, but it could be great news if they actually pull this off and they can refinance it, maybe for a longer term, better interest rates or whatever they can come up with on it. That would be great to see. Okay, so that's it on that one. And then we got Hive blockchain. This is pretty good news, but I think it's more of a fluff piece than anything else. So Hive blockchain announces commercial deployment of the Hive Buzzminer powered by the Intel Blockscale ASIC. And we got Frank talking about it here a little bit, how he's proud of his team and everything else, how they're focused. They're always first to do everything. And then he continues on here. Our strategy has always been to realize the best return on invested capital by vertically integrating our supply chain of ASIC miners. We are executing on our strategy to be the most efficient and agile crypto mining company globally. So that's good there, that they're still working on it. And then what is unique about the Hive Buzzminer is the dynamic range of operation. We are able to operate our machine from 110 terahashes to 130 terahashes, allowing us to optimize the profitability of our fleet by varying the power consumption and machine efficiency. So I think this is actually pretty cool that you can tune the machines depending on the economics, what makes more sense. Does it make more sense to use less energy, mine a little bit of lower hash rate, but if there's a reward for that it makes sense for them to do it, why not do it? And you have that option. So I think that's kind of cool on the machines. Accordingly, our initial build of 5,800 Hive Buzzminers can produce between 638 petahash and 754 petahash, which is good. And the company is happy to announce the performance of the Hive Buzzminer now that over 1,500 machines have been deployed globally in our data centers in Canada and Sweden, and we have seen the expected performance targets met. So that's good. So they are getting those metrics to 110 to 130 terahash. Would be nice if they provided us some data as far as how are the miners operating at 110, how much energy are they drawing, and then also 130, something like that. That would be kind of cool to see, but probably not going to get that. The company notes that earlier projections of over 1 exahash were based on total ASIC allocation of the Blockscale chips, with Intel to produce 13,000 Hive Buzzminers. To methodically scale the business during the crypto bear market, Hive's initial production run for 2022 was set to 5,800 units. Accordingly, this is reflected in the hash rate projections. Hive retains the option to produce more Hive Buzzminers potentially in the future, so that's good news there that they could get more, and they need to grow. So. And then I think that is it. Let me see here. There was nothing else here. Oh, down on the bottom. Here we go. So this is the picture of the Hive Buzzminer. Looks like a regular ASIC miner, not a big difference in design. This is a bunch of them being, a bunch of them plugged in. So it's kind of nice to see those. It's nice that they're also using a heat shield here to keep the hot air in. And then the only other thing was here was the RSU grant. So the company announced that the board of directors has approved the grant of an aggregate of 1,200,000 restricted shares units RSUs to the company's directors and an officer, didn't state which officer, which vest over 12 months. So at the current price, what is that, about close to $4 million worth of it at the current price on Hive. So, I mean, a little bit of dilution there, I guess, unless they already had this planned out and they just awarded it. I'd like to see more growth before they give this out. So company's directors, so they kind of give themselves a little bonus, I guess you could say. Okay, so that is it. Let's take a quick look at how the price of Bitcoin going up to over 20,000 right now, how much of an effect that has on the miners, and we'll look at the information here. So we're using the electricity cost of 5 cents, which I think is pretty much the average across the board. Some are a little bit higher, 6.5, 7 cents, depending if you're using a hosting provider. You're maybe paying a little bit more. Network, I have it at 270 million right now. Bitcoin price is set at 16,500 here. And the wattage used by the miners, so I'm using the 100 terahash miners, which are about 3,050 watts roughly. And here's what we're looking at. So the red number here, 16,500, is the Bitcoin price. This is the amount that they're making after paying the electricity costs. So this is basically net profit after electrical costs. And we'll look at some numbers down here. So at 16,500, which we were just there a couple days ago, some of the miners were potentially not profitable, depending on the price of electricity. So if you were close to 7, I think it was 7.5, almost 8 cents, they were not profitable at that. So if you go down to 5 cents, they are profitable here at $1.84. We're using that right here, $1.84, and we're going to calculate where we are right now at about 20,750. We'll go up to that number, and we'll take a look at what that difference makes for these miners. So at that rate, at $20,750 per Bitcoin, they are generating about $3.26 after electricity costs. So that's net revenue. That's a $1.42 difference. That's huge. That's almost, almost 50% more. And you can see here, if a company has 1 exahash of miners, they're making $14,000 more per day on those miners, with Bitcoin price being up where it's at. That equates to about $425,000 a month. And total revenue, let me see here. Do I have this right? 14,000. Yeah, that's times 30. So that's per month, 425,000 more per month. Total net revenue is, what am I doing here? I'm doing the 326. Oh, okay. So this is the, how much more they're making, but this number down here is the total that they're making at $3.26 net profit from the 1 exahash. Okay, there's a lot of numbers here. I don't want to get confused. So this is their total net revenue. This is the additional net revenue that they have up here, the 425. Total net revenue is 977,000. Total daily gross revenue is 69,000. So that is what we're looking at. The earnings that they're making plus the electrical costs. So that's the total combined, how much they're making per day. Total monthly gross revenue is 20 million, or not 20 million, 2 million. Electrical cost is coming in at 1 million. Electrical percentage is 52%. So the net profit is 47% at that point right now at 1 exahash. So some of the guys have 2 exahash. So we're looking at an additional 850,000. So it obviously doubles, triples, quadruples, and then goes up much higher. So at 2 exahash, they're bringing in an extra 850,000 per month. 3 exahash, 1.275 million. 4 exahash, 1.7 million. 5 exahash, 2.1 million. And 6 exahash, 2.5. And 7 exahash, about almost 3 million extra a month in that. That is going to help their bottom line tremendously. Let's see, what else do we have here as far as total monthly gross revenue grows up nicely as well. I mean, you're looking at 7 exahash, you're looking at about 14 million right now at 7 exahash, which would be nice. And yeah, there would be percentage, net profit percentage would be 47% at 20,750. If Bitcoin, I think we're going to have a little pullback, like I said earlier, but I think if Bitcoin goes back up to maybe 25,000, you can see how that is going to affect their bottom line here. At 25,000, they're going to be, net profit percentage is going to be about 56%. So we are getting closer to a nicer profit margin on these guys when we get up to 25,000. If we get back up to 30,000 sometime this year, I think the network hash rate is going to go up as well, but we can kind of play around with the numbers here a little bit. At 30,000, now you're at 63% net profit on these miners for the most part. You still got to take into account all of the overhead that they have, the facilities, the employees, everything else. That's all going to come down from that, but it does help them tremendously here. And even if Bitcoin network goes up, let's just go up to 310 million potentially, they're still at 57%. So at that price of Bitcoin at 30,000. So we really do need, well, one, Bitcoin price to go up. I'm sure we're gonna have the network hash rate go up as well, but it is gonna help them out tremendously and we'll see where we end up at. But it is a good thing for the miners. I think they're going to have a pretty good January numbers. We got a long month. We got 31 days in the month, and that should help them out tremendously. And I mean, we're sitting in the stock prices right now. They're all booming right now, but we'll see how long this continues. Okay, so I'm still dollar cost averaging into them. Some of them I'm still below my average. Bitfarms, I'm actually above it. My dollar cost average is 95 cents. Clean Spark, I'm still below like 7%, something like that. So I'm going to probably dollar cost average. If things pull back a little bit, I'm going to dollar cost average some more, trying to get some more shares going. And my only quandary is I've been investing in WGMI for my profit sharing plan. I bought in like almost at the right time just by chance. The company that I work for made it available to us to buy into the ETFs, and that happened late last year in December. By the time everything got transferred over and we were able to do it, I started buying into WGMI pretty much when it bottomed out at $4 and something. It's almost like $8 now. And at that time, the volume was pretty low on it. It was at a couple thousand shares a day was being traded at that time. Once Bitcoin started going up, more and more shares were able to trade, but I had a hard time buying 1,000 shares at a time to dollar cost average into it. I still have a lot of cash on the side. Now, my question to you guys is, should I continue to buy in regardless of where the price is, even if I'm up like 40% on it already? So should I continue to buy into it at regardless of what the levels are, just to move the cash out from cash and buy into it? Or should I wait maybe for a pullback? I'm thinking I should probably wait for a little bit of a pullback. I think we're going to get one within the next couple of days. I think we're just overheated right now, and we do need a little bit of breather. But let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say on this. Okay, so that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been a fun week. We haven't had one of these in a long time. It's always fun when Bitcoin's going up and the miners are going up. But we've had one hell of a year in 2022 where things were going south on us, and they just continue to go south, and there was no light at the end of the tunnel. We finally have some light. It's nice. It is great to see it. Hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you guys are killing it out there with the miners that you guys own. And I'm hoping for a great 2023. We still have a lot of stuff going on. We got a lot of stuff going around the world, and we still have a lot of stuff that's going on here at home as well. So big thing is we need inflation under control. Once that is done and the Fed stops raising rates, I think that is when we'll probably start going back up even more. In the meantime, I think we may be bouncing a little bit here up and down, but I think the trend is going to be overall towards the plus side. But we might be bouncing. Okay. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like button if you did. Spreadsheet is going to be available to my Patreon members as always. Thank you to everyone there. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Probably won't be able to do a video tomorrow, but I will be able to possibly do one on Sunday. Just way too busy tomorrow. Got a lot of stuff going on. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Love you all. Like I said, have a great weekend. Bye.